All right, team, welcome back to Plastic Surgery Untold, greatest podcast in the world, as voted by us. Today, we're talking all about the muscle mass movement, and we've been talking a lot about this in terms of the, what I call the weight loss revolution and beyond, and so when we kind of launched our biohacking, beyond beauty program stuff, really wanted to focus on how we can get people to the next level because, weight loss is only one part of this, and we're just trying to get people to a great, healthy spot, but it's really overall making them, helping them live their best life. And part of that is staying in a very fit area. And muscle has become one of the hot topics with the GLPs. But before we jump into it, let's introduce our celebrity cast. We'll start off with Dr. Chang, who doesn't need an introduction, but he'll give a quick one anyway.
Thanks. Cool. Yeah, Kevin Chang here. I'm an internal medicine physician, and I help lead our wellness team.
Mackenzie?
Yes, I'm Mackenzie. I am our esthetician here at our San Antonio location and coming up on almost actually a year being employed with you guys. So it's been awesome.
And you've been fabulous because you really can have owned some of this. You and Nici really, the whole kind of e-stem and some of the other kind of body beauty hacks and tricks in another episode. So stay tuned. We are going to talk about back to school beauty tips for people that have waited to the last minute to kind of take care of their skin and have been out in the sun all summer. So stay tuned for that episode, which will be fabulous. Nici?
I'm Nici. I'm the esthetician at our Austin location. I'm also coming up on about a year with y'all. It's been wonderful, and I've learned so much.
Awesome. Well, let's jump right into it. When we talk about muscle mass movement, Dr. Chang and I talked on a previous episode about Samorlin, which I have absolutely loved and personally used. But both of you are experts at Pure Impact. Can one of you talk to me a little bit about what it is and why it's so unique and cool?
Yeah. So Pure Impact is a really great device. It's for muscle stimulation. So it's really going to help contract the muscles there. One thing that I really love it is that it's actually really designated to the specific areas on the body, right? So M-Sculpt is another one that's really familiar. But then when we're talking about Pure Impact, it's actually, I actually just had a patient the other day tell me that they liked it a little bit better because they felt that it fit a little bit better. So it's been a really great thing that we've added to, Awesome Plastic Surgeon.
Nici, what areas do you most commonly treat with the Pure Impact?
Yeah, I do a lot of abdomen, a lot of glutes. People have started doing thighs, adding on the arms. It's great because you can do 2 areas at once. So kind of great for those people that are busy and on the go and want to get their workout in.
And then, this is interesting because we have people that always want to ask, when do they start this along the journey? And I know that you guys work closely with Dr. Chang, PA Joe, Ashley, any of our wellness providers, but there's all sorts of different points along the journey where people can jump into Pure Impact. And anything from the very beginning to when they switch to maintenance phase, how do you help guide and counsel people about when the best time is?
Honestly, it's never too late to start. It's never a bad time to start. If you want to start taking care of your body and getting things right and tight, then let's start now.
And then Pure Impact is similar. Tell us, Mackenzie, about if somebody comes in, because there is a kind of a unique method to it in terms of how many treatments people get initially and then where they kind of go monthly and so forth like that.
Yeah, so typically what we recommend is coming in if you're able to at least 2 times a week. We want to try and keep them as close together as we can because, going to the gym and stuff like that, you do want to stay consistent. So either 2 times a week for 2 weeks and then, just kind of sticking with the maintenance. Otherwise, if you're able to come in once a week for the next 4 weeks, it's going to be really great to be as consistent as you possibly can.
And I think that's one of the things that's so important, right? Is that, this is really a supplement to everything we're doing. So people that are trying to develop their Pilates body stuff, I know Dr. Chang spends a lot of time, counseling them. So they may start the GLPs, they may start Samorlin. We'll talk another episode about some of the peptides and supplements available, but it's really about making small movements in kind of a cohesive manner in terms of this. And so, the differences people are going to see, talk a little bit about that, Nici, because you've actually done several treatments on me and I was and I feel like I work out a lot and I was truly sore. I think I texted you the other day and I was like, damn, I feel it.
Yeah, you definitely feel it. I feel like it's very cohesive with targeting the different areas that you really want to target. And the more consistent you are, the better, as long as you do that initial kind of 4 treatments in the 2 weeks and then once a month maintenance. It's easy to kind of stay on that good path.
And Dr. Chang, because a lot of people, and the reason I think the muscle mass movement has gotten so much traction is that, for people that are, we talk a lot about, and I keep circling back to it because this is kind of what jumpstart a lot of this, the GLPs, is that, whether people are going to rebound or whether they're going to come back. And I think developing muscle mass helps you, burn calories, helps get to a good spot, helps build your overall strength so that you're feeling good, because the goal is to get people to a great spot, not to get people necessarily thin.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really a couple of things. I think you're hitting on it exactly. There's kind of biohacking beyond beauty, right? That's the term that we're using, and also, so basically, there's this idea that yes, we want to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. We might be doing, for example, in my case, we're doing a lot of weight loss things, right? But you want to be looking the best that you can be. But it's more than just the appearance of it. It's more than the aesthetics. It's also the health that comes along with that, right? I mean, we know that medically speaking, as we're losing weight, sometimes we will lose muscle as well. And over time, we don't want to be losing a lot of muscle because that can have other detrimental health effects. So I think having options like the Pure Impact and the other things like you mentioned, like Somorelin and other peptides along the way, it's just sort of providing a more holistic approach and just several other options to go along with, again, for the weight loss treatments.
And then because it's super interesting, because we've had a lot of patients, and I know we've kind of developed some programs for us where, especially at that maintenance phase, because when people are overall at a good weight, because we're not trying to get people too thin, we just want them at a healthy spot. And then for me personally, there was kind of a transition from like, I'm not necessarily trying to lose any more weight. I'm just trying to improve kind of my overall body composition. And we'll talk a little teaser about something called Shape Scale that kind of actually helps you measure some of that progress over time. But really at that maintenance phase, you're just trying to stay at a good weight, but now you're trying to switch from, just being, at a good weight to an overall healthy, kind of improving your overall body composition. And this is where I feel like Pure Impact is such a great, adjunct, partner, team member, stimulant to getting to that great spot. Because sometimes people have either stalled out at the gym, they feel like they're just not quite making the gains they want to, or they're like, hey, I'm getting back in, but maybe a little bit of a spot, a little bit of a help goes a long ways. And so I know, Mackenzie, you see a lot of people who are super fit, because I know you go to one of the premier gyms, I think Muscle Factory in San Antonio stuff. And so you see a lot of people there that are already in a great spot. They're just have a few little things that maybe they're trying to tweak.
Totally. Yeah, that's super common. And I actually had a question the other day from one of my patients on where they felt or who they felt would be the best candidate for doing a Pure Impact. And just kind of basing it off of what Nici said, where there's no right time to start. There's also no specific body type that's more in particular that's going to benefit from this than the other. So I actually really do like seeing the people who are in the gym consistently. I feel like they still are sore. It's not, people who don't work out and then they get sore. It's everybody. They have a potential of being sore from this, which really shows how good it works.
And that's what's so cool about Pure Impact, is that like you can actually do it whether you're just starting your fitness journey, whether you're someone that's kind of midway and just kind of stalled out, or if you're kind of at the pinnacle of your health and you're like, but then it gets addictive, right? Like you're like, I'm pretty good, but then I watch Top Gun and I can be a little bit better, So been working my arms. I bring that picture to Nici all the time, and she's like, okay, well, I can do some things to help you, but some of it, stop drinking that Frappuccino, Let's just go around the room. Any kind of last take homes about the muscle mass movement, Dr. Chang, that you'd like to leave your listeners with?
Just to reiterate a couple things. It's sort of both the aesthetic as well as the health aspect that I think that we're really are seeking to help treat here.
Mackenzie, your fans, any last messages or words of inspiration for them?
I just really want to say that pairing the people who are on the weight loss journey as well as doing some muscle stimulating devices, it's going to be really beneficial. And obviously our goal is to get you to your best aesthetic goals. So I think pairing them together is really great.
Mine would be that there's no really right or wrong time to start some of this. And so I'll tell you, when I first started the GLPs, I was so focused on weight loss. If I could change anything, I think Nici mentioned this earlier, I would have started some of my skin tightening. I would have started some of the muscle stuff. I think I have a much better understanding of how these peptides and certain peptides play into this. It's really helped, because sometimes when you're losing weight, you feel sometimes a little bit weak, sometimes don't have as much energy. And that's where, the B12, the peptides, the other things really really come in handy. And I think that's why sometimes people do little peaks and valleys, is your body's trying to adjust to such, dramatic changes. And so I think there's no really right or wrong time, but I personally would have started sooner. I think for a lot of our patients that switch to that maintenance phase, if you haven't been on some of these things, I think this is a great chance, because a lot of them are trying to now go from a weight loss phase to like improving their overall health, body composition, in terms of things. So that's kind of my 2 cents. Nici?
Yeah, I also wanted to add that I've had some amazing results on my patients post-surgery.
Yeah.
After tummy
That's a great one.
tucks, after BBL,
That's a great
things.
nugget.
Yes. You kind of need a little kickstart to get those muscles kind of working again and cohesion. And, obviously, if you go through surgery, you want to look your best. And doing those areas afterwards are really starting to kind of kickstart and get them back toned up.
I love that idea, because and maybe something that we need to introduce in our practice of either including this or doing something, because I think people don't realize, and Dr. Chang knows this from his hospital day stuff, but how quickly we decondition. And I think just a little bit of some of the e-stem to help with especially the cores, and we're talking tummy tucks, other stuff. We kept you out of doing everything that you probably were doing before, and it takes so long to get back into it. And I think for a lot of people, now you're looking fabulous, you want to feel fabulous and get back into that. But even in shorter procedures, I think even some of our patients that had full body lipo, other stuff, just the being down for a little bit of time and so forth, really sets people back. So I love that. Maybe something for us to work on and think about, because I know you used to see that in the hospital all the time. People were just admitted for 3 or 5 days. How much is deconditions that?
All the time.
And why we've made such a big movement to get people up, walking, and moving as fast as possible. So, okay, Nici, I love that.
that was great.
Maybe a project that you've just created for yourself. So,
great.
Stay tuned. Stuff coming your way soon. All right, we'll see you guys. Plastic Surgery Untold, greatest podcast in the world, as voted by us. Feel free to listen to us anywhere where you get your favorite podcast: Spotify, Pandora, iHeart. And if you want to see our lovely team looking absolutely fabulous today, check us out on YouTube or your favorite social media handles. We'll see you guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.